Hey everyone. For today's topic, I want to discuss why attractive women run into so many players. Now, one of you actually asked me where women can go to meet honest and secure men, and I wanted to delve a bit deeper into the subject and explain why so often attractive women can attract players and other men like that. Guys who are only after one thing, the bedroom fun, and nothing else, and as soon as they get that, they disappear or they prolong getting that for as long as they can without commitment, and as soon as a woman wants commitment, they disappear. So why is it that this happens so often to attractive women? Well, here's the reason. For the most part, it's because players are like the only guys who have the confidence to approach attractive women. What women often don't understand is when they're really attractive, they can actually be somewhat intimidating to most men. It's kind of weird when you think about it, right? Because it's just her appearance, which doesn't say all that much about her. But for whatever reason, it has an effect on us men. And I can even speak from experience that this used to trip me up a lot in the past. Even now, I can still be struck by a woman's beauty, only it doesn't hold me back anymore like it used to when I was a lot younger. So good guys kind of have to learn to push through that and approach a woman even if they're nervous, to just show up authentically and honestly. But most of them don't really learn that because it requires a lot of self-work, and you have to meet the right people, I guess, like mentors, to teach you how to do it properly, which usually means finding content creators online and that sort of thing. And there are very few of them who actually teach this in a honest way, a way that involves integrity and whatnot, trying to be a great man. A lot of the content creators out there who give dating advice, it's more like tips and tricks and like manipulative crap and lines to repeat and all that BS, when really the only good stuff out there is stuff that deals with your personality and just making you a better man and helping you push through fear and that sort of thing and just show up as you are. So very few men work on themselves enough to hit that point where they are confident enough to approach a woman they find attractive. So immediately that pretty much means if a woman is getting approached by a guy, I could probably say that over 50% of the time he's likely going to be a player type, just because those are the only men who have approached enough women where it doesn't bother them anymore. They're not fazed by it. So they have no trouble seeing an attractive woman and going straight up to her and talking to her. And in fact, many of them will be incredibly charming because they've got a lot of experience, right? They know what to do, they know what to say. So that's kind of an issue for attractive women if they're trying to attract a honest and secure guy. Usually those men aren't exactly going to be the ones approaching them unless she hits the lottery and finds an honest and secure man who's also heavily worked on himself and is confident. So that's the biggest problem right there. That just a lot of guys don't learn how to approach women. They don't have the confidence for it. So players, unfortunately, are those guys who it's not an issue for them. So they are often going to be the ones going up and talking to attractive women. So there you go. That's like the main issue right there. Now, if I could give you some tips on where to go to find honest and secure men, I wrote a few things down here. Now, bear in mind, these are just tips because obviously there's no foolproof way. I can't tell you like go here and you'll always find honest and secure men. That's not how the world works, but we all know that, right? Like we all know the dating game and how weird it is nowadays because so few people work on themselves, unfortunately. But that being said, I wrote down a few places that you may have higher odds of running into an honest and secure man if that's what you're seeking. So one of the things I wrote down is personal development seminars, like I guess a decent example would be like Tony Robbins seminars or things like that. You have higher odds of finding people who work on themselves in those places. So it'd be a good environment to find a man who takes personal growth seriously. But also be careful because sometimes those kinds of seminars can attract weird people. I don't know how to describe it exactly. They're like people who kind of can be eccentric. So yeah, just play it safe, be careful, you never know what you'll find, and that's exactly why I said this isn't foolproof. And then another thing you can try is pursuing hobbies and passions and seeing what other people do those things as well, like joining meetup groups for your hobbies and passions. If you enjoy hiking, then find hiking groups. If you enjoy Yoga, I don't know, not many men do yoga, so that's probably not the best example, but maybe finding a man at the gym would be useful. I mean, there you get an idea that he probably, to some extent, likes working on himself, even if it's just physically, but hopefully he'll work on himself mentally as well. So that's another option. Or looking in your friend group. But that one matters more if you actually choose your friends well. If you have friends around you just because of convenience or just because they're people you went to school with and that's about it, but you don't have much in common, maybe that won't be all that helpful. But if you choose your friends well, odds are you've got some good guys in your friend group, or at least maybe friends of a friend of yours and that sort of thing. But also, you could have a great guy in your life who actually really likes you and is stuck in your friend zone. So check there as well. Although I guess that may not be the most helpful advice because usually there's a reason women friend zone dudes. So yeah, but I'm just throwing out ideas here on where you could potentially find honest and secure men. And then the last place I wrote down is maybe at coffee shops or bookstores, places that kind of attract a certain crowd. They're not exactly known for attracting player types, but you never know. Some guys will go to those places knowing that it puts women in certain headspaces that makes them more approachable. So play it safe, but maybe some of those places could be helpful. But like I said, this isn't foolproof. For the most part, what you want to do is get into the habit, or maybe the habit isn't quite the right word, but work on yourself enough to be able to tell when a man seems like he's actually worked on himself as well. So that way you can kind of avoid those players, because usually there's signs that they show that they are not exactly a dude who takes personal growth seriously. So once you can spot those signs, you know to then avoid those guys. But another pro tip I would give you, just get into the habit of being confident enough yourself to approach men. If you see a man who looks interesting, who seems like maybe he works on himself, go approach him, talk to him. Even if he's in a relationship, well, at least you had the balls to approach him. Probably doesn't work here for women, but you get what I mean. So yeah, give yourself a pat on the back if you actually have the courage to approach a man, because it's not easy, right? Like, doing that will make you realize how difficult it is for men to approach women, because it's not exactly the easiest thing to do. It's something that most people aren't used to. So yeah, but it's a way to get in control of your own destiny. If you find an attractive man, go talk to him, because maybe he won't see you, or maybe he will see you, but he lacks the confidence to approach you, or maybe he's just busy. Like, that happens to me so often where I see women I find attractive, we lock eyes and have that little mini moment of connection, but I'm with other people doing my own thing, or just going from point A to point B, and I don't have the time to stop and talk to them. And I feel bad about that, because I'm like, man, that could have been something there, but oh well. So if you approach guys, it'll at least help you control your own destiny more. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this video. Just wanted to go over why women often run into these player types, and then some ideas you could use to find honest and secure men, because hopefully those tips were helpful. But like I said, it's not a science, it's not foolproof. There's just more people need to work on themselves, really. That's the only solution here, and it's the problem right now, the fact that so few people do. But there you go. Hopefully this video was helpful. If you enjoy content like this, be sure to subscribe for more. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like on it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!